Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. While Nigerians are waiting for the verdict of Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, one of the lead counsel of APC lawyers, the person of Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Wole Olanipakun, is blowing hot. He's dropping his balls and is making demands. They have decided to put their heads together and they are making demands from the presidency, making demands from the leadership of APC and those in the corridor of power. The demands they are making, it reminds me of someone who made similar demands and it looks like he's getting it hot from the government. But this time around, in a legal and sensible manner, where he said what he said is worth listening. In fact, Yorubas will say, "One dale." He just opened it up without even caring whose ear is being God. He told us the way it is. Bola Ahmed Tinubu's legal team. Question is, what is it that affects the whole of Nigeria? You're going to find out in a moment. But before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button beside it. You see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. A senior advocate of Nigeria and immediate past chairman of the Nigerian Board of Benchers, Chief Wole Olanipakun, senior advocate of Nigeria, as at today, called for the renaming of the country, noting that the current appellation is demeaning and hypocritical. Now, Chief Olanipakun spoke at a colloquium that was held in Abuja to mark the 25th anniversary of Chief Joe Kyari Gazama as a senior advocate of Nigeria. In a paper he presented at the event titled "The Nigeria of Our Dreams, a Call to the Patriots," the senior lawyer equally called for the renaming of the country. He said, and I quote, "My position is that we should stop mocking ourselves by retention of that name, Nigeria, a hypocritical and demeaning appellation given to us by Lugard's mistress. It is intriguing that to date we have not mustered sufficient courage to drop the denigrating appellation. Come to think of this, the French named their French colony Niger, who the British gave us the ridiculous appellation Nigeria. What is the difference between Niger as pronounced in French and Nigeria as pronounced in English? A citizen of Niger is called a Nigerian, while a citizen of Nigeria is called a Nigerian. Have we bothered to ask ourselves what the difference is between these names? It is a difference without a distinction, and the recent development in the Republic of Niger has brought to the fore this dark reality. As a person, I keep asking myself, why am I described and addressed as a Nigerian, a name imposed on us, on me, by the imperial masters? Thus, the first takeaway from this colloquium is a challenge to all of us to offload this appellation or nickname and decide to give ourselves a name that is indigenous to us, that is arrived at through a consensus and that evokes in us a strong sense of belonging and ownership, because it will carry meaning that proclaims a destiny or actualization of a dream worth being proud of. On his call for President Tinubu to probe past administrations, Olanipakun, senior advocate of Nigeria, said, "Let us remind ourselves that we cannot make an omelette without breaking eggs." What do I mean? The president has to ask questions, and sordid questions indeed, about how we have come to this sorry pass. Why are we in a big mess? Why is the economy grounded? Why the economy is grounded? What has happened to the previous budget and the trillions of naira allocated to road rehabilitation, healthcare delivery, security, infrastructural rehabilitation, institutional restoration, and so on and so forth. Why have our airport, particularly the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, which is our gateway to the outside world, plugged into a shambolic state constituting an eyesore to any rational human being, despite the billions of naira purportedly earmarked and expended towards rehabilitating them? Why our youth and professionals of all cadres at their prime exiting the country in droves, which is jackbarring, in search of golden fleas which does or do not even exist in several instances? For example, it is now common knowledge that many Nigerians are left destitute without jobs after traveling to the United Kingdom. Lest I forget, the government must also interrogate a very profound question as to why the national currency, naira, has fallen so dismally, almost from grace to grass, and virtually becoming valueless, with 900 naira exchanging for just $1. The present administration must examine and audit all books and records as well as past expenditures, whether real or otherwise, Olanipakun, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, said. On his part, the celebrant Chief Gadzama, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, said that this was organized to bring eggheads together to address some of the issues affecting the country. There is a consensus that is building up that Nigeria is at the brink of collapse. What then can we do as compatriots, as patriots, nationalists, major stakeholders, community leaders, and politicians? A lot has been said. What we want to do is to ensure that what has been said is put in the public domain, particularly at the feet of those in government, to see what they can do to have a new order in the approach to national issues. Corruption has been identified, nepotism, electoral rigging, and so on and so forth. We need good governance. We need transparency in this country at all levels. Gazama, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, states. Among the dignitaries at the event, which was chaired by retired Justice of the Supreme Court, Mrs. Mary Odele, included the Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Justice, Prince Lateef Fagbemi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, SAN. This is coming from, this one is not Peter Obi lawyer, so this was APC lawyers, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Of course, if you have been following our channel and during the PEPT, that's Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, you'd agree with me that Wole Olanipakun is not a new name. He's a Senior Advocate of Nigeria, a very senior lawyer, and most often than not, is always the one champion. In fact, I think it was the lead counsel then before Fagbemi took over. And of course, Fagbemi now is now the minister. I will not say acting because they've all been sworn in. And now that means they're all close to the leadership corridor of power. And I believe that whatever it is they're brainstorming, the presidency have heard. The thing that this is coming from them, saying that they even need a change of name. That if you check the name Niger and Nigeria, Niger from French, pronounced as Niger, but in English pronounced as Niger. So which means if they're to pronounce Nigeria, they will say Nigerian, while the other one is Nigerian. So you not say that what's the correlation between a French giving a country, their colony, Niger, and a British giving Nigeria. There's something synonymous. And it's saying you should start by, changing the name and also looking into corruption. In fact, he said a lot. Let's put in our comment section.